G'day folks, and welcome to another adventure. Thanks for joining me. Recently, I've been thinking a lot about the Auckland Inlet here in Gladstone. The Auckland Inlet, in my mind, starts where the fresh water flows out of Lake Kalamunda and into the creek there. It flows around Ash Pond 7, past the dog park and a few other things. Some of it filters off into NRG, that's the power station for cooling, and the rest of it flows out through some industrial areas. That's where I'm starting today, and then out past the marina and into the harbour. So I'm quite close to the mouth here, but I'm going to head right up near the top where it branches off in a few areas, and we're going to fish a few little inlets and a few creeks that drain off of this thing, and see if we can find ourselves a few fish. I've done plenty of fishing off the bank in the Auckland Inlet, and occasionally we turn up a few fish. Don't worry about the drone unaliving itself here. That bridge where the drone just flew for the final time, that's where the Auckland Inlet goes under the Blaine Drive for the first time. It's going to circle right around and go under again, but at the moment I'm taking my chances and fishing a few little creeks and bits of structure on the way up. We did a lure giveaway out of the last tackle box, and it was actually located just on the other side of this bridge. I'm going to be doing a few more of them, so keep your eyes out for the Tackle Club videos, because I'm going to try and give away at least one lure out of every box. This bridge looks like it should be awesome fishing, but the Auckland seems to be particularly still today. Even though we've got some decent tides, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of bait movement. I'm fairly sure this drains down to having no water under this bridge when the tide's on the low side, so there's only a metre or so of water here now. It's time we get out of here, and we're going to keep heading up and see what sort of structure we can find along the way. We end up locating a few drains, some running out of Ash Pond 7 and some running out of the industrial areas. These are just stormwater drains, so in theory any critters living along here should be healthy enough to eat if we manage to turn something decent up. This is one of the drains coming out of Ash Pond 7. I'm having a go here with the Insta360 camera. It's okay, but it doesn't seem to blend the images together as good as advertised. It's the X3, so if you're looking at them, keep that in mind. We've made our way up close to the dog park. I think it's on Palm Drive. You used to be able to drive right across this wall before it collapsed in. There was just some drains going through, opening up the wetlands behind there to drain and fill up with the tides, but it's all fallen in now, and the tide's not high enough for us to get in there and explore a bit further. So we're going to keep on going. We're getting close to our destination, which is the bridge that goes under Blaine Drive a second time, and here it is. This is one of the spots that normally fishes pretty good off the bank, so we're going to give it a crack. We just pulled up here where the Auckland splits into. It goes up the Lake Kalamunda, and it makes the full circle on a big tide around Ash Pond 7. I've seen a little bit of fish movement when we were coming in, so that's a good sign. I've changed lures from that paddle tail. It's sort of a top water because it's got a basically unweighted jig head through it. I've changed to this Samaki. It is diving way too deep. It's punching the bottom hard, but hopefully we stir something up and we can get a hit on it. It's been a long way up here with a little 4-horse, so hopefully we can turn up a fish. We've had about 30 casts on this side of the bridge with the big Samaki. We're going to head over to the other side because whether it's the wind or the tide starting to change, it's pushing us away from the structure. So we're going to go through the bridge. There's a little creek down there on the other side, and we'll float back through. This morning I've come up with just one rod and a bucket full of lures because I want to try and focus more on lure fishing. Anyone can catch things on bait, well, almost anyone. Sometimes I can't, but we're not talking about that. I want to get better at lures, so if you got any tips, let me know. I've got heaps of lures, and I'd love to catch up if you're a bit of an expert, especially in the Auckland. Because these fish are certainly playing hard to get this morning. It's getting up near the top of the tide, so I think we're going to try and work our way back as it starts to run out. And we're going to come back up here this afternoon and see if the fish are biting better on the night tide. We actually got up here a little bit late. We should have been here maybe an hour earlier, but we did stop and fish a lot of places on the way up. So we're going to start cruising back, and I'll see you guys a little bit later this afternoon. And we're going to do it all again, and we're going to hit the top of the Auckland and see if anything turns up. Here we are, it's the afternoon now, the sun's starting to set. It's on the way down anyway, and this is the spot we were this morning flicking the lures around, where we were seeing the bait movement. So we've come down here this afternoon. I've given up on my purity of lure fishing, and we're going to try and catch some liveys, because I've got some time to kill. I'm going to fish into the night, and in my experience, I'm pretty crap at catching fish on lures during the day, so at night it's even worse. We want some liveys, we want to be able to get them in, and just hang out for a bit, see if some big fish turn up around here. So let's catch some. Now you might be thinking that drain on the screen on the left would be a great place to throw the net, but I've actually got the bottom of a net in there already. There's some concrete or rebar or something in there, and I've lost a net in there. So we're going to throw here in the main channel. That way hopefully we don't end up losing another net, because these things aren't cheap. I get them from Net HQ. They're probably one of the best places to get them. Chain bottom drawstring, maybe 150 bucks, but we still don't want to be paying that every time we go fishing, so let's try and avoid some snags, eh? Not the best throw, didn't even make it all the way in the water, but that mud is soft, and that is, yeah, that's actually really snagged again. Bugger, I'm gonna have to get down there in that soft mud and try and get this off. It feels like it's only caught on one of the drawstrings or just on one little bit, so hopefully we can get this off without getting in the drain. Had a bit of a look around, make sure we can't see any lizards. There's not a lot of crocodiles in Gladstone. Reports are pretty few and far between, but it'll be pretty inconvenient getting eaten by one. Looks like we did have some bait there, but most of it's getting out. Hopefully we can salvage this net. No, we didn't get eaten by a crocodile, but we did snap the drawstring, so that's going to have to try and be repaired at some stage. I've never repaired a drawstring before. I do have a video on repairing the nets in general. If you need to fix a few holes, there's a video on the channel on how to fix them. It's pretty easy to do, so definitely check that one out if you cast net a lot of bait. But let's see if we can catch a few more, and let's get some baits in. Let's get some fishing happening. Okay. Got a couple of liveys on, which took some catching. There's a little bit of bait movement out there. This is the only place we've seen any sort of action in the water this morning. I was going to bring the boat back up, but I figured it's a lot of effort. I could just drive up, jump out and fish into the night, because that's something we can't do with the little boat because it doesn't have lights. So this is sort of the tide we wanted to be here this morning. You can see some bait busting up, going up that little creek. That's sort of where we needed to be, but we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get a lure on. We're going to start flicking. These liveys are here with bells on, because we're only going to be just on the other side of these mangroves. I think that's reasonable distance, and we'll see if we can pick up a fish. This vibe didn't do any good this morning. We trolled it the whole way back to the boat ramp, even past a little bit, with no joy. So it goes back in the box, and I think we're going to go for, oh, I'll go for this one. Little shallow diver. Could use some new hooks. That sun is brutal, and so are the sandflies here. Sandflies seem to be bad here, doesn't matter what the temperature. We go up around the corner a little bit, see if we can get in the shade of one of these trees on the other side. And as for the sandflies, I just have to deal with them for now. We've also got to keep our eyes peeled for live bait. I brought some dead mullet that we've caught previously, and we caught those two earlier on, but for sitting around at night, you really want to be running liveys. Hopefully there's some up here somewhere. I often bring the kids down here for a fish, because if you got prawns or little bait and little hooks, this is somewhere you can just catch brim and Moses one after another. It's a great spot if you're just chasing a few small fish for a bit of sport. But we're after something a little bit bigger. That's why we're running liveys and lures and hopefully nothing else. One of the bells just went off on the liveys, and I think it was probably this one, since it's no longer got a face, but I'll send it back out. Might hook it through a little bit better. It started getting touched almost straight away, but whatever was playing with it just wasn't committed to taking it and running. So this is something I often do if I know there's not too many snags out there. It's just feed it a bit of extra line. Hopefully it encourages the fish to grab it and run, and then we can set that hook right in the corner of its mouth. Oh yes, yes, here we go. Don't be a catfish. Oh, it's an eel. Oh. It's a little pikey. Oh, he's not that little, but you guys got pike eel recipes? I reckon they probably got heaps of bones in them. Drone. I used to have one of them. Off you go, buddy. I want to see you again tonight, mate. Yeah, get. Let's hope that's the last one of them we see tonight. Now I've got to go and try and catch some more bait, because I only had 2 liveys, that's all I caught. Even tore one of the drawstrings on the net. Looks like there's some down there though. See if we can get the sneak on them with our busted net. Guys, I've got one of these. It's a bag. They come like this. It's got a string. This has got foam in it. It floats. Keeps your bait alive. Keeps them in the running water. I just bought this online, so let me know if you're interested. Been thinking about setting up a shop, selling some stuff, so let me know if you'd be interested in one of these. See how it works. This bait cage is just such a simple idea. I thought about making one myself until I seen these online, and you can't go wrong. It's got a heavy duty zip in the top, which somehow hasn't rusted up. I've done nothing to look after it. The amount of bait fish I've had dying buckets, that net has been great. I've had it a couple of months now, 3 or 4 months, and it works an absolute treat. Look at the bait out there. What's that coming down? Is that pelicans? This is another eel. Feels more like a log. What is on the end of this? Oh, but it would have been a crab because it just let go. Thought it might have been. We're going to be pushed out of our spot, so that water's coming up quick. I'd have liked to have sat here a while longer, but I'd say we've only got another 30 centimetres or so until we've got to move. I'd really like to catch something that's not an eel. Right, we relocated to the top of the bridge and we're going to fish here to the top of the tide, which is sneaking up on us now. We have been here for 5 hours or so and we're just looking at that one eel so far, but you never know, you got to stay to the top. Righto, it's the top of the tide. You can see everyone's left leg Calamonda now. It's been a bit of a bust here at the end of the Auckland. Of course we're not right at the end, but there we are at the bridge here and where it forks off back up towards NRG. One eel, that's all we've got. We were here for the top of the tide this morning. It's the top of the tide again now. We fished the up, the out this morning. We fished the last bit of the run in today. Yeah, it's about 9 o'clock and the dew's starting to settle in and I'm getting cold, so I'm packing up and I'm getting out of here. Unfortunately, we didn't haul in a big heap of fish like it would have been nice to, but it's been good to get out here and get out of the house and have a bit of an adventure. Even if we're only on the side of the creek, on the side of the road in town. Get out there, guys. Righto, thanks for joining me and maybe I'll see you out there somewhere.